Hey, what's going on? This is the Unpopular Counselor. Appreciate you for being here. Today is Wednesday, December 4th, 2024, day 4 of Advent. I'm going to read the left side and the right side, so let's get to it. Christmas Blossom and Saint Barbara. According to legend, Saint Barbara was the beautiful daughter of a nobleman of the Roman Empire named Dioscorus. When Barbara's mother died, Dioscorus had Barbara locked high inside a tower to protect her from the outside world. From there, Barbara spent years gazing upon God's creation. She recognized her father's pagan idols were not part of it. When Dioscorus finally allowed Barbara to leave the tower, she met Christians who taught her about Jesus, the church, and the faith. A priest from Alexandria baptized her. When Dioscorus found out about Barbara's conversion, as well as her refusal to marry, he flew into a rage. He denounced her to the Roman authorities, and when she was condemned to death, he carried out the execution himself. Immediately after, he was fatally struck by lightning. Today, St. Barbara's traditional feast day, and people in German-speaking countries, especially in Austria and Catholic regions of Germany, place a cutting from a cherry tree or other flowering plant in water on December 4th. The practice is called Barbarzeweg, and the hope is that the twig will blossom on Christmas Day. The custom stems from St. Barbara herself, who, according to legend, placed a cherry tree branch in water before her execution, when the cherry branch produced blossoms and lifted her spirits. Thus, the total number of generations from Abraham to David is 14 generations. From David to Babylonian exile, 14 generations. From the Babylonian exile to the Messiah, 14 generations. If we actually counted the names in Matthew's genealogy, we would wonder about his arithmetic. But his purpose is not to give exact numbers. He describes the list as symmetrical to teach us that the events leading up to the birth of Jesus were part of God's careful plan. We believe in God's providence, God's guidance of history and individuals. Yet, if there is a pre-existing divine plan, is every detail predetermined by God? If a plane crash kills all on board and one person missed the flight, does this mean that God willed the passengers to die but not this person? To understand providence, we should think not about God's power, but God's love. The best way to put it is this: God is overseeing the whole of creation with love, and God's love holds sway. That's it. God's love holds sway. God is not calculating and manipulating events. Bad things that happen aren't pre-planned by God. Rather, God's love accompanies us as we walk through life, and God can work with anything, even in a terrible disaster, to bring goodness from it. St. Paul said, "We know that all things work for good for those who love God." Romans 8:28. Really, that deserves some thought. Pick a few trials in your life and talk to the Lord about them. Spend some quiet time with the Lord. Appreciate you for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow.